Hello, everybody. I am so excited to see all of the amazing work that you all are doing in this class. It has just surpassed my expectations. And gold stars to all of you and really wonderful work. This is a very important class to me. There's a lot of content that is very near and dear to my heart in my work, and many of my favorite contemporary artists like Kerry James Marshall and Kara Walker focus on a lot of these subjects, and I'm really glad to see that everyone is really learning a lot, growing a lot, and the discussions are so fantastic. So, we're actually already past the midterm, and great job, and starting to get a clearer picture of all of these influences on the developments of modern art. My goal is also to try to show you some connections that are happening in other cultures and across the globe. So, not just in Europe or the Americas, but also what is happening in Asia, what is happening in Africa, and lots of different things around the world. So this week, we are exploring art as propaganda. And if we go into the summary, which always gives you some terms and ideas and some focus of where's the focus this week, because there's often lots of different articles and sometimes some different directions. So, this week, the main idea here is about how propaganda affected modern art. And so, this is another huge influence. It's also connected to, often connected to art and war, and how war has affected different artists in different time periods. But in propaganda, there's often a very direct connection. And as we scroll down, there's some tips for success for you. This one's on 6 effective study skills, scientifically effective study skills. And it's really interesting because if you adjust your techniques a little bit, you can actually use your time more efficiently as you're studying, which is really good to know. So here are the terms and concepts to know. So these are things that you'll either see in a check for understanding, or you may see these as possible topics for your future discussion. And this week we're exploring Nazi Germany, the White Rose and degenerate art, but also Aristotle and the idea of persuasion. This is very interesting, especially if you're interested in video games or marketing. Artists like Hannah Hawk and Otto Dix, George Grosz, Sir William Orpen, Dmitri Moore, L. Lissitzky, Thomas Nast, Norman Rockwell, Rosie the Riveter, which is the poster that we just saw there, Jackson Pollock, the Mexican muralists, and Diego Rivera, Man, Controller of the Universe. This is one of my favorite paintings and murals. I spent a lot of time working with Philadelphia Mural Arts Department, creating murals, and it's a very community-engaged arts activity. So the reading and viewing materials this week will take you through those different topics, okay? And take notes, because the question this week, you may pull many different things to kind of support your statement for the topic this week. And because you're my superstar class, most of you have already finished your reading and added your facts in there. But the discussion question this week, you have a variety of topics to choose from. Okay. Let me scroll down here a little bit. There's the topics. Most of these you're familiar with, my criteria, and if you're, you can always go over these and read over those criteria really carefully. Most important is it's 700-word minimum. Do have some citations at the end of some sources, have at least, I think, 2 sources. And as you're responding, do that in a more academic way to expand the discussion. So make your responses at least 8 sentences, please. And if you get hands-on and get creative and make something, please invest the same amount of time that you would in writing the essay. So I should see at least 3 hours of time in that creation. And I don't really look for quote-unquote talent. It's much more about the time that you're investing and what you're learning. So here are the questions for this week. We're exploring, can propaganda be great art? What responsibility should the consumers and creators of propaganda bear for its consequences? Why do people buy into propaganda? Cite some specific examples, and anything you're discussing, have some examples. You also have to embed a visible image, and make sure everything is always visible to make the discussions flow like a blog, so we can see and respond to each other very easily. Then we have, can propaganda be used for good? Yes or no? Cite specific examples from art history. Was abstract expressionism a form of positive propaganda for the United States? ? How do institutions of art, museums, galleries, foundations, magazines, etc., textbooks, support propaganda or political agenda? Please cite specific examples from art history or today. Using collage, drawing, cartoon, or digital collage, create your own propaganda piece using the principles of design, elements of art, and persuasion, which we'll learn from Aristotle. Explain your process, challenges, problem solving, and resources in a 10-sentence reflection. I also just want to mention that we do touch on many sensitive topics. We have already, and I do apologize for not spending some more time just talking with you about that. And I do apologize if anyone experienced a negative effect from the content. I'm really sorry. It's not my intention to inflict harm. It is my intention to share knowledge, and in the hope that with knowledge and with a conversation that, all of you going out into new careers can help to build a better world, and one where we're all a part and included, and have a place, have a seat at the table. So if that happens, you're always welcome. Please email me. I've got a lot of resources and support systems in sharing for your class. I did post, there is an article within one of our reading on radical self-care. And that can also be really important. Just right now, we're still in the midst of a pandemic. Many of us are experiencing loss, challenges, so many things, financial, so many things. So radical self-care is really important right now. And please do email me if you are struggling, as you're reading through some of this difficult content. And my goal here is always that we use this as tools for knowledge and wisdom, and sometimes it's an opportunity for discussion. And even though it may be a painful process, hopefully, and my hope is that we can transform that into an opportunity for learning. So I just want to touch on that. The unit on art and propaganda, may also contain some things which might be upsetting, and there's lots of tragedies within our human history, and maybe that's why the Greek theater tragedy was one of the most popular plays. So I'm scrolling down here to show us the future, to take a look at the future, because I've made a change to the class today to help get us ready and kind of moved some things up. If you are curious or you'd like to kind of start to get to know your groups, I have a group project, and don't be scared. I actually grade these individually. So there's going to be some little pieces that you do, such as your notes, that you can submit for kind of your individual grade. And here we are. And it's also a great way for me not to do a final exam. I don't like to have big, high stakes exams. I think there's a better way to grade and to kind of see, what did you learn? What did you get out of this class? So I like to do these ongoing assessments. And every week you've got assignments to see how you're doing all along. So there's no big final test. But for the group project, the first step is to just say hello. And that's the group discussion. Okay? And it's way at the end in Module 10. There's the group discussion. And it's not due until February 21st, but you're welcome to dive in and just say hello. You can see who's in your group. I have had some of you asking some questions, and I thought, there's nothing wrong with starting early. Starting early can be a really good thing. So we've got 8 different groups. Everybody's got 4 people in your group. And the first discussion here, just like any, time you're working collaboratively, the first step is to just say hello, get to know each other. What's a good style of communication? Do you like email? Things like that. And start to share a Google slide or a Google document. Okay, it can be even just a Word document where you can all start to share notes. And that's like really, really cool, because even if, someone is in a different time zone, someone can go in and add something at 9 a.m. and someone can go in and add something at 9 p.m. And you all will see those notes. So you're welcome to start this early. It's not due until the 21st, and we will talk about this some more. I'm going to start to share weekly videos like this in lieu of our virtual meetings. I can tell those aren't working because we've got different time slots. So I just want to share, each week something to help you see what does Miss James, what are her expectations, what are her goals, okay? And I think this will be a better format for doing that. So take really good care of yourself and email me if you've got questions. If you need to meet, I'm right here. We can do virtual chat, things like that. And just have a great day if we get some sunshine this week, and take good care of yourselves. And I'll see you in the discussions. Thank you.